Okay, today we're going to talk about the verb saber and conocer. Both of these verbs mean to know, but with different shades of meaning. First, let's look at the conjugations of the two verbs. The verb saber has an irregular hill form, say. That means I know. If you want to say I don't know, you would say no say. But notice that the rest of the verb is just a regular ER verb. It has the stem SAB plus regular ER verb. Okay, now the second verb, conocer, also has an irregular hill form, conozco. But the rest of the verb is a regular ER verb in this plus the stem, C-O-N-O-C. Conozco, conoces, conoce, and so forth. Now, notice this ZCO that we have here. The reason that we have a Z out is to get the S sound. Notice that the stem, when followed by that ER infinitive ending, it gets an S pronunciation, conocer. But if I follow that C with the O, as is here, it gets a K sound, a K. So we put a Z in there to get a little bit of an S sound, but we still have the K sound. So instead of conoso, which you might think would be the way it would be pronounced, it's conosco. And this is very common for verbs that end in CER, like conocer, or CIR. For example, the verb producir ends in CIR, but its show form is produsco, spelled with a ZCO at the end, just like conosco. Okay, now let's look at the meaning of the verb saber. Saber is to know information, or facts and figures, or how to do something. So, for example, if you want to say, I know how to swim, you'll say nadar. If you want to say, I know that 2 and 2 are 4, you would say, yo sé que dos más dos son cuatro. Or, if I want to say, I know the name of the store, yo sé el nombre de la tienda. Saber for these three things. Now, with the verb conocer, we have the same root as the verb I have here in English, recognize. The cognized part of recognize is the same root as the C-O-N-O-C part of conocer. And it kind of helps us understand the meaning of the verb. If you can recognize a person, place, or thing, that is, if you're familiar with them enough that you can recognize them, then you would use the conocer verb to talk about that. For example, if you want to say, I know the neighbor, conozco al vecino, that's a person. If you want to say, I know Little Rock, conozco Little Rock. Or if you want to say, I know the neighbor's cat, conozco el gato del vecino. I would use conocer with things that I am familiar with enough that I could recognize them. Okay, now we're going to talk about the meanings of the two verbs and some clues that help you figure out which one to use when you're trying to pick one for your homework or put it in a sentence. Okay, if you're using the verb saber, one of the clues, if it's facts, figures, or information, is there might be a that or a if in the sentence. K is that, and C, without the accent, S-I, is C means if. And also, if you're talking about knowing how to do something, then that's going to be followed by an infinitive. An infinitive is a word that ends in an A-R, E-R, or I-R. Now, if you're going to be using the verb conocer, it's going to be knowing a person, place, or thing. If it's a person, your clue is that there's going to be a personal I in front of it. But if it's a place or thing, you just have to recognize that it's a place or thing and know that it's going to be the verb conocer. So let's go through our examples here. All right. In this first sentence, look right after the blank. Hacer, that ends in an ER. That means that's an infinitive. So I'm going to use the one that's followed by an infinitive. Okay, that's saber. And so we're talking about knowing how to do something. So they know how to do the homework. Okay. So I need the they form of saber. See, that's a regular verb except for the yo form, so that's S-A-B plus E-N. Saben. Let's look at the next one. Okay, I don't have any of my clues, so I have to hope that maybe it's a place or thing and I can recognize that. The Museum of Art. Okay, that is a place, isn't it? So, if it's knowing a place, I'm going to use conocer. This time I need the yo form. That's the word with the Z in it. Conozco. C-O-N-O-Z-C-O. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Oh, look. After the blank, there's that personal I. That means this is knowing a person. In this case, it's knowing my grandpa. So let's see. Marta is a she. So I need the he-she form of conocer. So let's see. It's a regular ER verb except for the yo form. So that's going to be my stem, C-O-N-O-C plus a E. Conoce. Marta conoce a mi abuelo. Okay, let's look at the last one. Ellos blank que yo soy mecánico. K, look, there's my K, my that. So that means I'm talking about facts, figures, or information. They know that I am a mechanic. Okay, so I need the verb saber, and my subject is ellos. Okay, that's actually the same answer as number one, isn't it? S-A-B-E-N. Ellos saben que yo soy mecánico. Okay, there are some hints over how to figure out which verb to put in a sentence, and then to make your conjugation match your subject.